Today in maths you will be learning about whole number and estimating. Now estimating is when you look at a bunch or a group or a bundle of objects and you mentally think about how many there could be there without counting them. So your learning intention today is I am learning to look at objects and calculate how many are there without counting them. At the end of this lesson, your success criteria is met if you are able to estimate how many objects there are, count them to confirm your estimation, and collect your data and put it in a table. List your objects here, write your estimation in the second column, and count how many there are and put this information in your quantity column. You are going to need to collect a large quantity of small objects, such as a jar of dinosaurs, a tub of marbles, some buttons, some Lego cubes, or even pasta. Okay, you're going to use these resources to estimate. Now, boys and girls, the first objects that I'm going to estimate are marbles. So, I've written marbles in my table and I'm going to estimate how many there are very quickly just by looking. I estimate that there are 20 marbles, so I'm going to write that in my table. Estimation marbles 20. And start counting. Ready? Because there are so many, I'm going to count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. I was pretty close. I've counted my marbles now and I have found out that there are 21 marbles in my group of marbles. So let's write that in quantity. Quantity, marbles, 21. Now let's move on to pasta. I'm going to estimate how many there are just by looking at it. I would say there is about 26 pieces of pasta there. I estimate that there are 26 pieces of pasta in my collection there, so I'm going to write estimation pasta 26, the number 26 in my estimation column. Let's count. Let's check. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 28 pieces of pasta. Now I've counted my pasta and there are 28 pieces of pasta, so I'm going to write that in my table. Quantity, pasta, 28. Now let's move on to dinosaurs. Number 3, the third group of objects that I'm going to estimate the quantity of is these dinosaurs, that I estimate that there are about 28 dinosaurs here. In my group of dinosaurs, boys and girls, I estimate that there are 28 dinosaurs. So let's write that in my estimation column, dinosaurs 28. Now let's find out how many there are. Let's check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4. 24 dinosaurs. After counting my dinosaurs, I found out that there are actually 24 dinosaurs in my collection. So I'm going to write quantity, dinosaurs, 24. Okay, my fourth group of objects that I'm going to estimate the quantity of are these buttons. Now, there are so many buttons. I reckon there's at least 40 buttons here. Okay, I estimate that there are 40 buttons in my group of buttons. So let's write that under estimation. Buttons, estimation, 40. Now let's find out how many there are. Let's count them quickly, as we can. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38 already? 40, I was way off. 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, 80, 82, 84, 86, 88, 90 buttons. I was way off. I said there were 40, but there's actually 90 buttons there. So after quickly counting my buttons, I found out that there were 90 buttons in my group of buttons. So let's write that in our table. I'm going to search quantity buttons, and write 90. Let's move on to Lego. Okay, my last group of objects to estimate is this Lego. I estimate that there are approximately 30 pieces of Lego here. I estimate that there are 30 pieces of Lego in my group of Lego, so I'm going to write that under estimation, Lego 30. Now I'm going to count how many pieces of Lego there are. Let's check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. There are 32 pieces of Lego here. Now that I've counted my Lego, boys and girls, and found out that there are 32 pieces of Lego, I'm going to add that into my table. I'm going to look at quantity, Lego, match them up, and write 32 in my quantity column. Now, boys and girls, this is what your table should look like by the time you've made your estimations of your objects and you've counted the quantity of your objects. You can see that my estimation column is full. These are the estimations that I made just by looking at my objects in a group. And this is the amount in my group after I've counted them